people talk about Trae Young and they say, Trae Young is the next Steph Curry. Oh, whoa. Pump your brakes. I don't think that's true. But I do want to talk about this because everyone said before the draft and before, about a week ago, everyone said Trae Young is the next big thing. All my friends were so excited about him. And now everybody's bailing on Trae Young, saying Trae Young sucks, I don't want to deal with him, and I don't understand that either. I think there's just a culture of overreaction in this country, and people they're so quick to judge. No one wants to take in any information. No one has any patience. And so I want to really in-depth discuss Trae Young. So Trae Young, to this point, he plays again tonight, but to this point, he's only played 3 Summer League games. He's made his professional basketball debut, and I want to talk about it. So in the first 3 games for Trae Young, he is only combined 3 for 24 shooting three-pointers. Now, if you watch Trae Young in college, you know his thing was, I can hit really deep threes consistently. I mean, they called him the young Steph Curry. He was hitting shots from really, really deep range early in the shot clock, didn't care, doing his own thing. And so if you look at the first 3 games, against the Grizzlies, he had 16 points, was only 4 for 20 shooting. That's only 20% shooting. And was 1 for 11 from three-point range. That's only 9%. Against the Spurs, he was even worse. He was, I guess not worse. He had 12 points, but he was 5 for 16, shot 31%, but he was only 1 for 5 from three-point range. And again, against the Jazz earlier this week, 10 points, 3 for 10, only shooting 18%, and 1 for 8 from three-point range. Trae Young has not hit more than 1 three-pointer in any game so far in the Summer League. And everybody's ready to bail. Everybody's freaking out. Trae Young, he's not the next Steph Curry. He can't even hit threes in professional basketball. Relax. I just think you're overreacting. So I've never bought into the hype that Trae Young is the next Steph Curry because I simply don't believe there is a next Steph Curry. That's ridiculous. There's no next Steph Curry. There's no next Michael Jordan. There's no next LeBron James. There's no next Tom Brady. There's never going to be another Michael Jackson. When you get an iconic person like that, you simply can't recreate that. But it doesn't mean Trae Young couldn't be a good basketball player in this league. And it doesn't mean he couldn't hit really deep threes consistently because we saw that in college. I think the truth is people just aren't being patient with Trae Young. If you watched Trae Young at all in college, you know he broke a ton of records. He has a Big 12 single season scoring record. Yes, and he was only a rookie. He's the only person in the Big 12 history to score more than 800 points in a basketball season. He's the NCAA single game assist record. He has basically every single Oklahoma scoring record. But again, 3 games into the NBA Summer League, everybody bails on him. Nobody believes in him. And I think that's silly, man. I don't understand. I understand that he's concerning. I know it's not great. He's 3 for 24 professionally shooting three-pointers. That's not a good stat. But you think he can't fix it? You think he can't improve? I want to talk about, I've been watching The Office recently, and not every episode, but I've been picking a couple episodes I love. I was revisiting The Office. Did you know they almost canceled the US version of The Office after 1 season? Somebody wasn't patient. People were so ready to jump, and it's become one of the best, most popular sitcoms in years. And I think we need to just practice some patience with Trae Young. I watched Trae Young. Trae Young is way too small. He's getting pushed around physically. He's just getting obliterated. Against the Jazz, Grayson, whatever his name is, I can't remember, Grayson Allen, pushed around Trae Young. It didn't look good. And you see everybody's guarding Trae Young really close, not letting him shoot threes from outside the arc. They're just playing him really physically, and he's not looking good because he's so small. He's underdeveloped. The reason why I think Trae Young has been settling for shots and on it, frankly, really bad shots in the NBA is because he can't get any kind of penetration. He cannot score inside because he's too small. He's 19 years old. He's not a big kid, and I think you just need to give him time. I understand. Look, the reason why the Hawks acquired Trae Young is because they know he's legendary. He's got this track record of making outrageous, ridiculous three-pointers. But it doesn't mean he can't do that more. You just got to give him patience. Again, this is a 19-year-old kid. Here's what I really don't understand, though. Everybody that said, I have really good friends that were like, you got to realize Trae Young is the next Steph Curry. And I was always like, eh. But if you believed that 2 weeks ago, you should probably still believe that now. Remember, it took a while for Steph Curry to develop. Steph Curry was not perfect out of the box. It took him time. I remember a time years ago when the Warriors had both Steph Curry and Monte Ellis. And Warriors fans actually believed that the Warriors should develop and choose to commit to Monte Ellis rather than Steph Curry. Steph Curry might be the best shooter of all time, and they almost passed on him. So I'm not saying that Trae Young is the next Steph Curry. I don't think he is. I don't think anybody is. But I think Trae Young could develop into a good player. You just need to have patience. I don't understand why people are so quick to jump. I mean, look, Trae Young is 19 years old. He needs to hit the gym. He needs to get bigger. He needs to become a more physically imposing player. Not a lot, but he can't score inside at all right now because he's simply too weak. He's too feeble. And you just got to give Trae Young time. I'm going to give it 3 years. In 3 years, then we can actually judge what Trae Young has become. But right now, he's a 19-year-old kid, and he's playing with other people his age right now. He's about to be playing with grown men that are 27, 28, 32. At a 19-year-old scruffy small kid. Give Trae Young time to develop. I'm not a big Trae Young fan. I'm really not. I don't think he's the next Steph Curry. But I do think he could develop into a reasonably good basketball player if you just allow him time to develop. So we'll revisit Trae Young in 3 years. But I'm not gonna judge Trae Young truly until 3 years have been up, because I'm just gonna give him time to develop. I'll watch the story. It'll be fun to see if he does slowly progress, but until 3 years are up, don't give me an absolute Trae Young sucks. I don't want to hear it. I don't believe it. You got to give Trae Young time. He's a young kid who needs to develop quite a lot, and he just might. So, I don't know. Relax. Stop being so panicky about Trae Young. Not everything is the end of the world, and I think that's kind of what I've seen is, Trae Young has 3 bad games and people are ready to jump off a cliff and throw him away forever. So I just don't think it's true. Give Trae Young time and be patient with this kid. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, if you want to help Strong Opinion Sports grow, you can share this with your friends on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this show. And always remember, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, everywhere you can find a podcast, as well as YouTube. My full entire podcast is on YouTube, as well as shorter, more interesting clips like this. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and take care. Bye.